welcome to another edition of the Blue Review. I got Travis with me today. I always like it when Travis is here, except for this can be a little bit of a downer of an episode, Trav.
A little bit.
It's a little bit of a downer. All right, so the Blue Review is presented by Los Angeles International Airport. Hire LAX creates life-changing career opportunities for Los Angeles residents. For more information, check out Hire LAX on Eventbrite. All right, I understand he's an Angel. He's probably going to be a Dodger next year, but he's probably
well,
he is an Angel. That's kind of the debate. Shohei Ohtani is going on the eye, and he's just being shut down.
He's
with
not going to
UCL.
He's not going to pitch the rest of the season because of a tear in his UCL. What that means, probably means Tommy John. Nothing official, but do they shut him down from it? The Angels are out of the race. It's over. Trout's down too, so. Why not shut him down? Why not start you get an extra month on the get right procedure? So
you should absolutely.
It could happen, but until it happens, we don't know.
So I think this is. I'm going to want to jump right to where I want to go. What does this do to his contract next year? When he goes to free agency at the end of the year, we've been talking about $800 million because he does two things: $40 million hitter, $40 million pitcher.
Right.
$800 million for 10 years.
Yeah.
What is it? What does that do for next?
Well, not to open up this can of worms again, I don't think it was ever going to be $800 million.
That was going to be $800 million.
But I don't think it was. But
$80 million.
I think that what it does is it changes some of the terms. I don't think it changes the dollars all that. Believe it or not, I don't think it changes it all that much because you can come back from this. It does happen. There might be some opt-outs. There might be some different language in the thing to protect Ohtani. I think it does most is it gives some bad teams or some teams that maybe had a smaller chance a better opportunity of getting in there. That if the Dodgers, for instance, come in and say, hey, listen, and I'll just use your numbers as wrong as they are, that to say we're going to give you 10 years at $800 million, okay? We're going to give you 6 years at $600 million because we're worried about what it's going to be. And somebody else says, we'll still give you the 10 years at $800 million. That maybe what we didn't think was going to be a straight economic decision becomes one.
Okay, I see what you're saying. But if the fact of the matter is let's say he has a Tommy John surgery, second Tommy John surgery, which, guys, is not a normal thing. There's only a few of them that do it. You're already going through Walker Buehler's coming off this second Tommy John surgery. Dustin May's in the middle of his second Tommy John surgery. Tony Gonsolin is about to go on to it, possibly have Tommy John surgery.
Sure.
All of these dudes, do you want to bring in another guy with that much money for you, 6 years, $600 million? Do you want to still make that same move when he's not going to be a pitcher till 25, 26?
But he's not just another guy. He's Shohei Ohtani. And I don't just mean that from a baseball perspective where he's going to hit you 50 home runs and he might win 10 or 12 or 15 games on the mound. What he brings to your franchise transcends what he does on the field. And while you and I are preoccupied with the results on the field and whether or not he's going to make X amount of starts, the guys that own these teams, that's only part of what they're preoccupied with. The other part is how much money can we make on this person that has nothing to do with these other things? Ohtani's value as an asset is probably like nothing we've ever seen. So sure, I'll overpay for the player because I get the influence in a country that's baseball crazy. I think that that's a huge part of this.
Yeah, it's the gate, it's the merchandise, it's the amount of the fans. There's all those
own
things.
The Japanese market potentially, right?
Yes, you absolutely, which the Dodgers tend to do for the most part anyway.
Yes.
But so you just add right into it. Now, here's the other thing. So in the meantime, let's say he does have the Tommy John surgery. You can't really throw no matter what, but for a hitter and for guys like Corey Seager, when he had it, he came back a little bit faster and was able. Bryce Harper obviously is coming back faster.
Yep.
Would you consider not DHing him when he's ready and still put him in the field but not pitch?
I think that's a question you have with him, a conversation you have with him, you have with the doctors. If they're saying, look, and he can play right field or left field and be fine, healthy, or you find a way to just DH him for a year, I think that's fine. I think you do what your medical staff tells you he's capable of doing, what he tells you he's capable of doing. We've seen him play just as a designated hitter before.
Yeah.
We've seen it. It's something that he's done. He did pretty well. So I would assume that's what it's going to be going forward. But what you don't do is say, okay, well, why don't we have him play the outfield for 3 months while we get him ready to pitch? I wouldn't do anything like that.
You kind of want to mess with all that.
He is a pitcher, full stop, until we're sure he's not.
Yeah, it's wild to me though. This, first of all, we didn't say this. We have to say it. This sucks.
Oh, it's the worst.
It sucks.
It's the worst.
to happen right now, I kind of figured it was going to happen eventually. Like with this 10-year contract that I was talking about, I figured 4 or 5 years of pitching, and then he stops and he's just a hitter. You thought you were going to get a little bit more out of him, and now
I still think you
right
will.
now,
it sucks in the short term for sure.
What, 28,
29? He'll turn 30 next season.
So he'll turn 30 next season, and by the time he's actually ready to pitch, he's in 32-ish.
That's what's interesting. I think that if you're being very optimistic, he's back as himself as a two-way guy during the 2025 season. Right, because he's going to miss next year as a pitcher, almost for sure. I think that the 2026 season is where you can fully expect him to be Ohtani again. How much time you get after that, I don't know. But you're right. I think the part that is so disappointing for him, for baseball fans, for the business of baseball, is they finally had somebody that transcended you and me as baseball fans. That your mom knows who Shohei Ohtani is. Your grandma knows you. Your mailman that doesn't watch baseball knows who Shohei Ohtani is, and that what made him is at least going to be on the shelf for a while. Is just a huge dream.
No, I mean, you and I went to an Angels game just to go see him pitch.
Yeah,
that was the whole point of the whole thing.
Yep.
So I mean, that's what's going to be happening. So. Now the next part is: do the Angels have a better chance of bringing him back because of this?
I think so. I thought that if the Angels' chances of retaining his services were 1 in a million, I think they go to 1 in 100, which is a huge improvement, right?
Huge, yeah.
It's a big difference because maybe they do the thing that we're talking about. Maybe they say, and I'm guessing here, but I think I'm right. They had to have gone to him at some point in the last year or two and said, how about this deal? That obviously he said, no, thank you, right? What if they say, hey, listen, we know that you're about to get, another Tommy John potentially. We'll still give you the same deal. It's a pretty big step. Like whatever that number was, whatever that term was, maybe they sweeten it a little more to show how engaged they are and committed. Yep. That's a pretty powerful argument.
It really is. But see, if I'm Shohei Ohtani, I'm looking at what just happened right now, and then I'm going to having my second Tommy John surgery and all this other stuff, and saying, this is not the medical staff I want to be with. No. This is making it seem like this. For me, if I'm him, I'm thinking I want out of here even more so than I already did.
I agree.
I don't win. I don't make the playoffs. The medical staff is terrible. My owner's terrible. Everything about this organization is terrible. Why do I want to stay?
That's how I'd look at it. I'm a believer in the cosmic baseball gods, and they don't smile on the Angels. They just don't. And I would want out of there as fast as humanly possible, but I'm not Ohtani. To me, this just reaffirms that if something bad's going to happen, it's probably going to happen in Anaheim, and I would be looking for the first door out, but that's you, that's me, that's not him necessarily.
Yeah, this is not. We don't really know what he's thinking, but
nobody does. Him and his agent and maybe Ipe, his translator. That would be my best guess.
Well, we'll see what's going to happen with it. But thank you very much, Trav. Appreciate you always.
It's nice to be back.
Yeah, no, I've been waiting for you to come back. That'll do it for the Blue Review with Travis Rogers, Greg Bergman, and thank you to LAX.